I believe it's better to show everyone your flaws and write with a reputation handicap. Because then you're forced to learn to communicate well enough that when someone says you shouldn't be listened to because of what your motivations might be, or what your personal failings and weaknesses are, instead, it's the person who wants you silenced who gets told to shut up. That's a far more powerful ability than hiding who really wrote what you wanted to say. But, as usual, that's just another one of my harmful opinions.
That was, warts and all, from your savior and mine, Harmful Opinions. He's already had to start over again from square one, well, YouTube being YouTube, and I subbed the man by chance that one day that he would get his game back, that he would be a shadow of his former self. Words can and will cause damage. So can opinions and thoughts. So to that, I say suck it up, snowflakes. Before we get to the KP drama from BabsCon, and believe me, I'm spoken to Magpie, to Lost Narrator, Lightning Bliss, to Josh Scorcher, to members of KP staff. Today's show needed a lot of assembly. It's gonna be worth it, cause there are some crazy accusations. From theft, to stalking, to using someone's pool in the community, to get an ex-head editor banned. I'm going to do my best to do a fair job. Again, before we get there, I want to respond to one comment, and by extension a video from Dusky Novel. For context, for you guys, this is from GamerGirlBLU. Hey buddy, if you drop the subject, people will forget about it, and things in the community will be back to sunshine and analyzing the fuck out of a kid show. If you continue to chase it for the justice or legal reasons, the community will slowly turn into a place of hate where no one will be safe. This could be someone's past, and you'll want to turn them in even though they're a better person. But no, you want everyone to die. Good job, you've killed the community that needed to die years ago. After reading this statement, I'm not sure if you're against me or not. If you feel the fandom was supposed to have died years ago, why are you criticizing me? Anywho, if you pursue this for justice or legal reasons, why would no one be safe? I'm really confused here. I don't want to put words in your mouth. So you might want to clarify before people like you get lumped in with some of the people that I'm about to talk about next. I offered Mad Munchkin the same opportunity last week to come out and clear the air. What she meant about criticizing people for their sexuality and bullying. When I go after people like Performance Major, Toon Critic, and Dusky Novel, all the people who prey on minors, all the people who have taped confessions, in a fair world, some of you guys won't feel that silence isn't the same as omission. But when a simple no can wrap up so much, well, you tell me what it looks like. This is a video from Dusky Novel's channel called Goodbye. It doesn't start off like a barn burner. It's your average fare of quitting the fandom. In fact, this one was just from 2 to 3 days ago. There is one here called Goodbye Forever, however. It's a good 3 minutes and 30 seconds longer. So what's there? Both goodbyes are read by someone else that's not named. I can't imagine why. I will include a link to the individual of the first reading as I've had it pointed out to me. I believe that's Thunder Rider. I would like to know the name of the other narrator. If anyone could assist me, let me know down below, if you know. Let's play a clip from Goodbye Forever.
Can't believe I'm doing this. Well, seems people in the LLP community have broken a man. Just the fact that all of this has turned into what it has, and it's honestly broken my heart. The fact that a show literally about friendship and caring about people has made a fandom so toxic and so shitty that people don't give a shit about how others acted. If they're falsely accused, that they just believe something they randomly hear.
Sorry for the extra long clip. There is no false accusations. There's a recording of Dusky Novel saying that he ERP'd with a minor. In fact, I'm going to have a Google Doc from one of Dusky's sessions down below in the description. But if that's not good enough, again, I will include a link to Dusky Novel's confession on BitChute, link down below. I've told people in the past, be wary of people who use words like toxic. It's Tumblr lingo. Whatever follows after toxic is about to be a statement based around emotion and not logic.
The fact that this has come to this, it just makes me feel so upset. The fact that literally a fandom about a kid show that is supposed to be about friendship and love and everything is this toxic, good for nothing thing that, in my opinion, honestly, at this point shouldn't even exist.
Wait a minute, isn't that what that gamer girl Blue said? You know, let's go over to her channel real quick. I'm gonna leave a link to this video here. It says New Hanzo Main. If you want to compare this voice to that voice, well, I'll leave it up to you whether it's the same person or not. Now, I can't tell you if this voice is the same. Maybe one of you guys down below maybe can. Anyways, your average individual doesn't want child abusers around them. I doubt that's what Lauren's original vision for the fandom was. I doubt that's what Megan McCarthy wanted when she took over. Hell, I doubt that's even what M.A. Larson wanted. But if he did want pedophiles, he would have wanted them with wings.
And that, for instance, a game that's about murder and death has a better, happier fan base than this. It just bothers me.
I'm sorry, it bothers you, but because your feelings are upset, we're not going to ignore pedophiles.
And the fact that people who are being accused of things that they aren't even doing, or they're blown out of proportion, and the people who are making these claims against these people have done even worse.
Let's look at the worst thing I've ever done online. I've defended doodle tones to Mr. Metokur. Now, to be fair, that's pretty bad. If you're measuring the backlash on a numeric level of negative comments, which, hey, I did ask for it, you might be able to make the argument. Except, Mr. Metokur just got done making his third video on a child abuser, and I want to play a clip here, because it's relevant when I'm talking about Dusky Novel. This is Ross 3, Return of the Tub. Brace yourself, this gets pretty bad.
Secretly recorded Discord conversation that really fucking caught my ear.
How dare I? What do I know? I'm just, a guy who's extremely, a terrible human being. I shouldn't be around kids at all. Oh, wait. Never mind. I actually am around kids to this very day. Never mind.
Take a minute to ruminate on that. Ross, the person who's described himself as a borderline pedophile who looks up naked images of kids online. The guy that said he needed to seek help because of it. He works with fucking kids. But how old are those children? What's the age range?
We're having a good time. Come on.
I heard you're a teacher's assistant now, Ross. Is it true?
Yeah, I'm why?
How old are the children that you're assisting?
They're in elementary school. Why?
In through the front fucking door. The guy that talks about hurting kids, physically hurting children, shooting up schools, has violent tendencies, looks up naked children, has rape fantasies, takes advantage of people that are suicidal. That's the guy working at an elementary school. There is no punchline to this video. It's not going to end on a high note. There's no grand moral lesson. There's no laugh to be had. Ross is a fucking dangerous person. He is mentally unstable. It's a guy that constantly told people he had an issue and nobody believed him. And he had access to kids and he did something about it. Now he's sitting in a prison cell for molesting a girl for years, for making her eat shit, for doing horrendous fucking things to her. And now you have a violent, schizophrenic, working with children. There's only one way a story like that ends, and it's not pleasant.
Dusky Novel has a daughter who is still a baby. He's no longer with his wife. Yes, that's in the interview up on BitChute. He refused to say whether he had custody of the child or not. I have it on authority from a massive channel, I can't tell you which one, that he's pulled crap like this before, that his friends supposedly claim that he's gone to prison, his fans cover for him, and just forgive him whenever he comes back. I will not be doing any such thing.
And no one's seeing that, and the people who are sweeping that under the rug, but not the accused.
Well, speak up. Whoomst. I'm not interested in a cover-up, and I address all of my accusations.
It just makes me want to cry. And to be honest, I'm done with this, with all this. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done. But there. I hope all of you who were against the person who I'm talking about are happy.
No, as a matter of fact, because I've seen people like Performance Major come back and go away, back and forth, in and out, and I've been told that Dusky Novel has pulled similar crap before. I still would inquire that Mad Munchkin, does she feel that Dusky Novel right now is being bullied for his sexuality? I want to encourage my fans to politely tweet at Munchkin for that. And if she blocks you, comment down below.
I hope you're happy with yourselves, with what you've done. The fact that you've broken someone, split his family apart, made him lose people, have made us all feel terrible just for the sake of drama, or just for the sake that you didn't get your facts correct.
When I talked about Mad Munchkin charging $275 for a YouTube thumbnail, that's arguably for the sake of drama. Arguably. When I talk about an artist who doesn't fulfill their commissions, well, actually that's more of a public service announcement. If you have a problem with anything I've done, I'm glad to answer for it. Though Thought Bubble Brittany has expressed some concerns with myself, and I've asked, as well as other people like the Chambers of my heart, who's expressed some concerns. And I assure you, I and Chambers are not super besties. Hell, I've covered her 3 times on this show. And that, my good sir, was for the sake of drama. When I talked about Chambers of my heart getting kicked out of the commentary community, or the alternative commentary community, or getting a name in the skeptic community, the world was not made a better place for that knowledge. I wasn't the first person, or even the biggest person, to share any of that information. Chambers of my heart, to the best of my knowledge, doesn't endanger lives, to the best of my knowledge. But she's been a drama lightning rod. So I talked about her. Dusky Novel months ago was a drama lightning rod. And the main reasons why I couldn't talk about Dusky as opposed to, say, Chamber is I know a couple people who knew Chambers. Before, no one was talking to me about Dusky Novel. They'd point out the videos on the guy, and then I would hear, oh, what do you think? And as far as that goes, he pretended and impersonated or misrepresented people who may or may not have been friends with him. As someone who skimmed, and believe me when I say skimmed is a generous term, old Dusky came off as a troll to me, and my impression was, ha. I have since talked to people that affected, and they weren't laughing. Dusky confessed of his own volition. To the best of my knowledge, he was not bribed, bullied, or otherwise. In fact, in that call, Shelly D is in there, and he's asking him more than once, why are you confessing? I asked him if he wanted it to be a secret. Why was he literally telling the biggest loudmouth in the fandom? And Dusky's remark was, well, it's going to come out. And yeah, there's some screenshots to a Google Doc down below. But the thing is, just like Toon Critic and just like Performance Major, there is no substitute for a recorded omission of guilt. We can all have the words on a page that we want. 1, people don't read, and 2, words on a page can be edited. Things can be omitted.
That you didn't get your facts correct and are listening to the wrong people. Because I know some of you, you don't want to listen to him because of what happens before. Or you don't want to listen... You only want to... Or the fact that you're doing this just to get people off your back. I've seen what this community can do, and I hate it.
You know what would be nice? Some fucking examples. What is it with you Tumblr people and needing to be nebulous and non-specific?
And I hope you're all happy. I hope you're all happy you've broken a man. Because I'm sure as hell not. And I hope all you fuckers get what you deserve.
A toaster. Do I get a toaster? How about a girlfriend who's not fucking nuts?
Every single one of you gets a punishment for your actions and feel despair, more so than me and my friends have.
You know, a while ago I talked about Isaac Collar, the man who dated Toon Critic, and how he provided Toon Critic with fan art to help get his way back in the fandom, and maybe rebuild himself. In regards to Isaac, that was horribly irresponsible and dangerous. I'd call it potentially criminal, negligent behavior for an artist. And disclaimer, I'm not a lawyer. So let's assume that Dusky never comes back. Let's assume that he's really in prison. Maybe the person reading this off, that this is just a coping mechanism, maybe they're in denial. Nobody wants to find out that one of their friends is a piece of shit. All you want to do is be accepted in the fandom. And all you have to do for that is to step away from a pedo. I'll make this simple. The land of milk and honey lies away from Dusky Novel. Surely there's no upside to continuing to stick at the man's side. Okay, we got all that shit out of the way. Who wants some goddamn KP drama? So I came across this gem, perhaps the last hidden gem in the brony fandom. This is Commando Solo. He did a video called The Dark Side of the Fandom. Guess what it's about? It's about I Love Kimpossible a Lot and BabsCon drama. Now, some of you guys in the audience will be like, wait, there was drama at BabsCon? Oh brother, I have 7 pages of a massive Twitter shit show. The likes that I've never seen before in the fandom. It was quite delicious. And we'll get there, as well as a statement made by KP in response to all this. Or rather, whatever her staff wrote up in a moment.
The Dark Side of Horse Fame. As March 2018 ended, I spent my weekend at BabsCon in San Francisco. Oh, mercy, was it an education. I went with the job to do. Miss Kimpossible's handler. The truth is, I was there as her bodyguard. The fact that she felt she needed one speaks volumes about the state of the brony fandom.
Now before we get going and have a go at Commander Solo, as much as I dislike this video, after I finished it, I went ahead and checked out one of his other videos, how to fix theme and identification. At the end of this video, I will play a clip. It was really good. I was really impressed. For anyone sick to death of all the tacky, wacky, that guy with the glasses analysts in the brony fandom, this man is very much more so in the vein of Anthony C. Again, we'll get to that later. Let's be honest. This is How Not to Brony. Links down below. I know I came away from this experience enriched, but let's carry on.
I deeply appreciate that she and her parents were willing to entrust her safety and good name with me. Thank heavens I was there, because I played a part in neutralizing 2 of 3 incidents. The one I couldn't stop outright was one where a brief interaction with someone at this person's table resulted in a harassment claim against Kim. Yeah, I'm sure all 90 pounds of her was real menacing.
Now, I've passed by KP at Winnie City Con without so much as a dirty look. Of the cons where I saw her, I personally had no negative first-hand 1v1 stories to tell you other than she physically attempted to run over Fallen Wish, who, let me tell you what, is more than 90 pounds. Seriously, my ex, my most recent one, who's like 4 foot nothing, is like 90 pounds. I've seen KP. You're on some magical bullshit, my man.
Fuck those guys!
Selfie snapshots. TFW, KP harasses your girlfriend at BabsCon, and then comes home to find a week prior to the con that she steals art from your girlfriend to use to promote herself at said con, with no credit given. Seriously, SMH. Dr. Meme at Windy City Con. I try to stay out of drama, but I'd like to know more info if you don't mind. Selfie snapshots. Basically, KP was very pissed by a few tweets made like a week prior that didn't even have her tagged in it. So at BabsCon, she sent someone to go around the vendor hall looking for 3 vendors. Musa was one of them, basically to tell them KP wants to talk. Selfie snapshots. Page 2. Musa then told him she didn't want to. 4 hours later, KP herself came to Musa's table anyway and started asking her about the tweet. Musa kept stating, "I didn't want to talk to you," over and over, and KP wouldn't stop annoying her until she said she'd think about it. Selfie snapshots. Basically, now I hope for the safety of any other cons like Everfree Northwest, my home con, can really look into this, especially since now I made a tweet and at Musa Mary is vending at that next Everfree Northwest. To be honest, I don't feel safe that she's a community guest there. Mecha hates those flying levels in Spyro games. Why do cons keep inviting her if she does all this? Dr. Meme at Windy City Con. Popular people bring in more attendees. They don't exactly pay too much attention to what people actually do, nor do they seem to care. Mecha hates those flying levels in the Spyro games. Unless people keep nagging them about this, then they'll take a look at it. Why is she even popular? I can't even make out this name here. says at Prosonic because she stands at the back of a room of unpaid volunteers and barks orders, occasionally telling them they didn't do a terrible job so that they keep working for free, and not ratting her out for being toxic, and not doing much of anything. She's a brony Kardashian. Page 3. Chancellor, hi there dude, I edited KP's video. I found the art on Twitter and couldn't find the source, so I apologize for the discredit. We are open to either updating the credit and removing the art from the thumbnail at your discretion. Chancellor, we try our best to always credit any art we use in the video, but it was my bad for not being more thorough in my search of the art's assets. If there are any other issues to clarify, that I am open to discuss. Selfie snapshots. That would be nice if you could remove it, but I should say the bigger message with this is the fact that KP went around the vendors hall harassing vendors, but seeing the thumbnail right after going through what happened at the con is really bothering me and Muaza. Chancellor, just an update. We did take down the video due to any concerns. As far as the other issues, KP, myself, and other members present at the con are open for discussion on whatever happened at the convention. Chancellor, just let me know if you'd like to talk. If not, that's okay. There seems to be a miscommunication on both sides. Selfie snapshots. If anyone should be representing at I Love Kimpossible a lot, it should be her, not her studio. You personally didn't do anything involving her actions at the con, and it doesn't help her case if she's sending people to speak on her behalf. Page 4. Wupcake. Jesus, even Tara Strong answers tweets herself, not her agent. Don't give KP's minions the time of day. KP herself needs to step out for once and admit she did something wrong. Or is this going to count as bullying like she's been talking about people doing to her? Rodrigo Quezenda? I'm horribly sorry if I got your name wrong. At Selfie Pony. Well, I never had the opportunity to talk to her, but after reading all the bad stuff makes me wonder why she's acting like that, I mean. She's always been like that? Selfie snapshots. Yes, for years, it turns out. Rodrigo Quezenda. Damn. And why is she so popular then? The Monkey of Lines. I'm sorry I didn't see any of this. Muaza Mary is a fantastic person and is one of my favorite staff artists. Press F to pay respects to Strumpet. There just are no words. Laugh my ass off. Page 5. Sassy Solar Flare. When KP was there, I basically gave her the unbelievable... Oh, 1 second, I forgot the name. Nepotism. Unbelievable. I'm surprised that nobody done anything about this problem yet. E.g. Studios. She snatched one of my fans who I talked to in person. Mecha hates those flying levels in Spyro games. She did all that? Captain Showtime. She also got someone banned for no reason. I'm sorry to hear that happened to your girlfriend. Page 6. Tyler Michael Randolph. This is why I blocked and blacklisted her. I never wanted to meet KP ever. Oren, the cat burb pony, needs a local ponycon. What a louse, honestly. Kelly Pony Tattoo. It's really hard not to laugh reading off all these names. Please don't yell at me, guys. She was super rude to my husband when he talked by and complimented her art, having no idea who she was. He's not a brony. To be honest, I don't even understand why she was there. She was a real jerk. Photo Anon, SMH. John Dash. Why do people even like KP? Hasn't she been proven to be a bitch everywhere? Waffle and I joked about her last night when he got back. Wubcake. Cause stupid people think that they'll get horse fame from working for her. Page 7. Selfie snapshots. Lol. Speaking of which, I guess her fans see me as an a-hole who's just trying to stir drama and ruin KP's good name. Like, I'm not making this up. He Discord server is literal worship. Josh dear. What good name? She never had a good name. Shit has been coming out about her since the dawn of time. Like, it's getting to the point where if there isn't KP drama, I'm like, KP quit. Sweet. Velvet. Fuck up, dude. Everything is going to add up eventually. Cool Beans the weirdo. You shouldn't use people's art without asking, what is shitty editor? And we get to KP's response, which no doubt is most likely written up by one of her staff members. I wanted to clear the air about the incident that happened at BabsCon this weekend. Apparently, there was some miscommunication with the vendor, Masua, at BabsCon this weekend. I originally asked my personal friend Jack, who wasn't on the staff, to talk to her about a rumor that I only pay splitting table cons with vendors for promotion. This rumor is not true. I 100% don't mind helping with physical costs. I just tried to clarify that I could advertise the location as well. I sent Jack over to her table because I was vending. I interpreted what he said incorrectly and thought Mazua wanted to talk to me directly. I approached her at a late time and tried to talk to her. I was there for maybe 2 to 3 minutes, seeing if I could clarify any issues present. She made it clear that she did not want to talk to me, that she did not want to talk, which is fine, and that was the only conversation I had with her all weekend. I also talked to maybe a total of 4 vendors all through the convention, 2 of which I spoke with to pick up commission orders, and another to let me borrow some tape for my display. I'm sorry, Mazua, for making you feel uncomfortable. It wasn't my intention. As far as the miscrediting issues on the video art, that was our bad. We try always to credit what we use in videos, and we made a mistake. The video has since been taken down, and all uses of the art have been removed. It is uploaded for archive purposes later. The art will not be present. Lastly, if Mazua or anyone else is directly affected and would still like to discuss this at a later time, I am open to talking. If not, that's okay. I'm sorry I didn't reach out sooner. I've been having health issues that delayed me. Thanks everyone for their feedback. This sounds like some empty, disingenuous bullshit like Mad Munchkin's latest DA tweet, but we'll get to that next week.
I also met Fiora, a high-ranking member of the con staff, a very competent person and a creature of reason. Together we cut the fuse of what might have been an explosive confrontation. Most refreshing. We live in an era when name recognition and reputation leads to fiscal opportunity, but scandal-mongering and defamation are more potent than ever, and no gatekeepers exist to prevent slander and libel from spreading.
So let's talk about that fuse, that there are no gatekeepers. There will be a link in a somewhat blunt, boorish, brutal recant of BabsCon. It trashes some of the people I like, but I will include it unedited, and we'll talk about it as we go. The anonymous reading. So BabsCon 2018 hit the scene. Shit really hit the fans here. This shitstorm incidentally happened in the vendor hall on Saturday with multiple witnesses. This includes Purple Tinker, because this happened near the vendor booth, and some other vendors, KLP Plushies, and another staffer. At this point, KP had a bodyguard by the name of Jack Nolan. Yes, an actual fucking bodyguard. And he's Christian. It's the scrub in the blue shirt next to Tim Tom. So a friend, Jordan, and I are still hunky-dory and talking to each other in the vendor hall, and we're at least 30 feet away from where KP was selling her shit. Keyframe was there, Lightning Bliss, basically no Josh Burner, Silver Quill, and Dr. Wolf. We're talking, and I just glanced over to where KP is. I see her just glaring at Jordan, like, okay, what the fuck is up? 1 minute later, Jack shows up to us and asks Jordan to see his badge. He gets his badge and presents it. Jack politely walks away. 5 minutes later, 3 people from Flair, BabsCon security, show up to us and ask Jordan to step aside into a service corridor hallway to talk privately. My friend and I are just, what the fuck is going on? We wait 10 minutes by the corridor to see what happens. They finally come out and Jordan says, sorry guys, going home. Those 3 Flair people then escort him out of the vendor hall, and my friends and I follow. They have him by a wall, and there is 7 or 8 Flair guards questioning him further with the head of Flair and the chairman Fable Charm, some chubby white dude, kinda making a huge scene near the entrance of the vendor hall. He was 15 feet away from us, and I couldn't hear a word that was being said to him. Flair was kind of blocking everyone's way. 10 seconds later, he gets ceremoniously escorted out of the hotel with Flair staff. I have no idea what KP said to any of those peons. She must have used the stalker excuse or the harassment card. What about the other cucks? Well, as you put it, they did absolutely motherfucking nothing. They don't call out the bullshit, and neither does the conheads. So, does this count as KP harassing someone else? Ding ding, yes. Salty bitch. Keep in mind, I was wearing my staff shirt, and I was visible to everyone during the incident. Jordan was already inside the vendor hall when he came to talk to me and my friend. Flair never asked me anything. I didn't see Jordan doing anything creepy at all to make KP feel intimidated. No middle finger, obscene gestures, or stalking behavior. He was just casually walking around looking for stuff to buy. Here's Jack's video on the BabsCon experience. He is Commando Solo on YouTube. Rip this ignorant fuck a new one. I state this to the best of my ability and have told the truth. If you need to get in contact with the other staffer who was with me, witness this, ask. He will verify this. This is on the record from Josh Scorcher. I'm assuming when he said on the record, I'm allowed to share this part. Now, BabsCon's blacklisting policy doesn't inform someone that they're blacklisted. When someone who is blacklisted tries to buy a badge, they get an error. They have admitted that this practice isn't good, and they are going to change it per my request. Off topic, this really grinds my gears. This is like setting someone up for failure, and honestly just rude. So under the impression that this computer error, Jordan goes to use a friend's badge. Not technically illegal, just towing the line, but Jordan learns it was a stolen badge and knowingly used said stolen badge to gain access to the con. That's where things get iffy. So KP sees Jordan, knowing that he's blacklisted, and asks Commando, that's Commando Solo, to figure out what the heck is going on. Commando asks for Jordan's badge, so when you are blacklisted from the con using a stolen badge, it looks really bad. The con staff just wanted Jordan to not be part of the convention, but against their wishes, the hotel staff had him banned from the building. The con staff had no control over the decision. Side note, I don't know why the Anon is getting on Bliss and Key's case about doing nothing. Like what? What did he expect them to do? They had little to no information about the situation or what was going on. What were they supposed to do? From my investigations and in my personal opinion, this was just a couple of nasty coincidences brought on by unintentional bad con policy and a few bad choices. I don't think that there's any really bad guy here. It's not 100% anyone's fault and Jordan made a dumb decision, but I don't think there was anything malicious behind it. KP was scared and confused and brought down the hammer to crush an ant. But it doesn't feel right blaming her either. It's just a fuster cluck. Damn it, Josh. I've omitted the part on the note that talks about EQLA 2017, but it will be included in the document down below. One more side note, I will be removing KP's bodyguard's Facebook. Now keep in mind, the anonymous contributor claims to be on the staff. Here is the tweet from the other day from Jmore on the matter. I will be reading that off first, followed by the tweet with Jack. That's KP's bodyguard on the above matter. Jmore addressing I love Kimpossible a lot. What did I do to you that qualified as harassment? Why are you still pulling strings to have me banned from conventions? Even after I went out of my way to try and keep the peace, you still send your hound, that Jack Nolan, after me. Why would you take Babs from me? I'm gonna read off Scoop, whoever this is. Weren't you the one who grabbed someone else's badge from a party room to get into the dealer's room? Jmore responding. It was given to me by mistake after someone left it behind it in the party suite. It was 1 a.m. and the registration was closed. I had previously gone into the vendor's hall without a badge at all after asking politely with staff. I was just killing time while the regular line died down. I know it was irresponsible to hang on to the badge, to use it like that. I should have turned it in the moment the regular opened, but I didn't. I am terribly sorry for what I did and would do anything to make it up to whomever Mr. Jang is. It was a mix-up and I took advantage of it. I am sorry. Reading off one more remark here. J. Moore, you don't know me. You don't know my history with KP is. I was her old hound. I was the one she sent to people when she didn't want to face them. I was you. Aside, I'd like to speak up. That is true. J. Moore did come and speak to me. Jack Nolan responding to J. Moore. I'm willing to listen. I must warn you, your actions have bankrupted your credibility. Jack, I've seen some of your comments in this. You're one to talk. What's the point as I've completed the job? I've advised Kim to move on from bronies and focus on her career. What fucking career, Jack? As a Hollywood professional. Sorry. I can better help her there. Oh, Jesus, Jack. Now, Jack, I did try to reach you for comment and why you were willing to exchange emails back and forth. I have a lot to dig through here, so your public tweet here and your video will have to do. Jack, even after talking to a bunch of people in the fandom, some have suggested J. Moore did stalk KP, others have suggested that she has overreacted. AWOL and Wolf. Very well. I have heard from Jordan along with Rachel and Jack, her self-appointed bodyguard, about what happened, so just so there is information from both sides, here is what I know. Jordan told me everything about how he had taken a badge from the HCC room. Sounds like it wasn't with permission either. Rachel and Jack had noticed he was hanging out in the vendor hall, and he kept looking over at Rachel from what Jack and others have told me. She then sent Jack over to talk to him. Jack asked Jordan to clarify who he was since it was reported that he had been blacklisted from Babs beforehand, due to some of the issues from a different convention along with Horse News' article that made him look like he was somewhat obsessed with Rachel. Jack informed security since Jordan's badge didn't match up with who he was, and Jordan was escorted from the con back to the hotel by hotel security. I'm not entirely sure. From what I gathered, it sounds as if the room Jordan took the badge from was searched by the hotel security because they had noticed that there had been some missing things, like the furniture. From the testimony I've got, sounds like Rachel and Jack stayed at the vendor table, like Rachel left for a panel while this was happening, so I can only go off of what Jordan told me, and some other people who have tweeted about the room search. So here's the problem, Jack. If KP is telling the truth, and of the times I've talked to J. Moore on Skype, he's kind of freaked me out. Maybe I'm a wimp, and rattle easy, it's possible, but that's something that's kind of concerning to cover up if it is true. It's also possible, despite KP being legit rattled, fragile, that her current state is richly of her own doing. I talked to higher-ups, individuals in the community who have several 100,000 subscribers between the both of them, who have said that KP cried and threatened to kill herself on a recorded discussion if her friends didn't take her side. Jack, regretfully, I don't have the go-ahead to give those names at this time. All I can say is that there's some very patient, polite, and very helpful people who are interested in protecting and caring for the well-being of the community. Again, that offer to have an open discussion on Skype still stands. I do not like your message, sir. Again, I do like your content, or at least your other video. The best way I had to explain to me, Jack, was that you have two sides described to you by one side.
Dr. Wolf called hell simply for asking us to forgive Toon Critic in our hearts. Firebrand, who played such a vital role in exposing Toon Critic, has his own internet stalker. Transgendered person acting out because she's madly enamored of that Marine uniform. Thespio's having to redo a project. to delete all mention of K's. Blissy has worked herself half to death, replacing images she unknowingly created using Hasbro templates, and to wash away any guilt by association with K.
Let's take this in turn. Dr. Wolf asked the victims and the public to forgive Toon in about a week. So yeah, he got yelled at. You get yelled at when you fuck up. It's supposed to happen. Josh Scorcher was getting stalked by old Jerry well before the Toon Critic pedogate. I'm sure there's a way better way to bitch at Pete or Orchid or whatever the fuck they're getting called by these days. You certainly gutterballed this one. As for Bliss having to work herself half to death, this was a discussion that was had several months ago. Now, I'm completely happy with how Bliss carried this out. I think Bliss gave a good account of herself. But Jack, I don't have any other way nicer than to say this other than whose fault was that? Are you suggesting that the people who were talking about it, that there was an error in helping to protect Bliss's customers? I have no problem with it being called a fair misunderstanding. But what was I supposed to do? Shut up about it? Jack, what you were doing is called Jerry-peating. When someone morally grandstands about shit that they know absolutely nothing about. As for Thespio, Will, or whatever you want to call him, I don't really have anything to add that I haven't said already, which, coincidentally, I stand behind all my previous thoughts on Will. I just won't beat a dead horse here.
But Kim, due to a payment dispute, and I would add her gender and faith, has become a target on all the bad actors' radar.
Jack, I'm gonna assume you don't understand 4chaners. 4chaners fuck with Jewish people because it's a meme. You could say it's a shitty one. It's something that goes back to well before the internet or the millennium. But Jack, regardless of KP's faith, they would have called her a greedy Jew regardless of her faith. If you're suggesting that she takes more because of her gender, Final Draft, due to his influence in the fandom, took a massive backlash back in the day. I assure you, Horse News hated him far more than KP, and Final Draft was a card-carrying atheist. Cool guy, I've talked to him. Nothing but professional of the times I've talked with him. That said, I did come into the fandom late, so who knows, maybe he was in my blind spot. But all you can really do for someone is vouch from your personal experience, Jack. You can't disprove what you don't know.
I spent BabsCon at her side, and I see an earnest and courageous young woman, big enough to admit she might have made some errors, but who wants more than anything to live them down and prove herself. Aren't second chances like that an important part of what this fandom's about?
Her idea of earning a second chance was collaborating with Silverquill, the Brony Notion, and asking DWK, who straight up told her to fuck off. The idea of penance was for her to do a PR campaign that she would have done with or without the drama if she thought that it would have made her look good. See this is Josh Scorcher's channel. See all these collabs with little guys in the fandom. This is an attempt to give back. And believe me, I'm a long way from being Josh Scorcher's cheerleader. So KP's scared. I'm sure Toon Critic is fucking terrified, or Performance Major, or Dusky Novel. All three of these pederasses in the fandom, and I'll have you know that that number is only growing up, sir. I'm also rather fond of Jesus, but to quote the Son of God, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and render unto God what is God's. KP got what she fucking deserved, Jack, and from what I've heard from some very fine sources, multiple fucking sources, you don't entirely disagree with that at least is partially on her. You went out here, Jack, and fucking lied your ass off, and I got your gatekeeper right here.
But I won't be bodyguarding Kim again, because the responsibility exhausted me. Hypervigilance and drama are the opposite of therapeutic for me. Worse, I feel like I missed the convention. Aside from a rousing game of Red Dragon Inn, drama and emergencies constantly interrupted my time with Will, Blissy, Doc, Tenpen, Josh, Dusty, and all the rest of these terrific people I'm so blessed to call friends. So I'm afraid Team Possible has a vacancy.
Did you notice that? He didn't include KP among those friends. You could have walked off and said that you had enough, Jack. Maybe, just maybe, of those many names. Most of those people want nothing to do with KP. Well, not maybe. I know they don't. I know that for a fact, Jack.
Those friends, I advise that you are like sheep in the midst of wolves. So be as shrewd as serpents and gentle as doves. Keep your mouths closed and your eyes and ears open.
Dear Jack, your money is welcome at any poker table I'm at. Even Bliss has picked up a little bit here and there, just little tidbits over the years, and she is far ahead of you. I'd call you a huckster and a charlatan, but I doubt you know what you're doing.
For the rest of you, please understand, your favorite YouTube personalities, in or out of the brony fandom, are exerting much energy just watching their backs and covering their flanks. People with bad intentions actively seek to defame, sabotage, entrap, backstab, and vilify them to satisfy their malice, their perversity, for a quick buck, or simply for the lulz.
Congrats, Commander Solo. You've done the same level of retardation that KP's haters have done when they say that she's doing it for the money. The people at Horse News, barring potentially Capper News, and I'm highlighting potentially, I still don't know because I haven't had a chance to speak with the man, so I have to guess. He is the only person who could have made money off of this. The rest of Horse News are, naturally, to the best of my knowledge, doing it for free. KP is not my preferred target on this channel, or Vita's. This can be proven numerically, though I doubt you know the drama in the community. Barring any of those people, I'm going to ask you this. Whomst are you talking about? I ain't laughing about KP, motherfucker. I'm not laughing that she pushed herself onto Sam's fucking table. That is some fucking bullshit, friend. Sam Outline is a good friend of mine, and I'm not letting that go. I'm holding my tongue right now on the person who tried to sneak that by. That is also a bullshit move, Solo, and if anyone asks me about said person in the future, I'm going to suggest against working with them in that capacity.
Emboldened by the K's scandal, they now appear to think the rules don't apply to them. So please, take no gossip you might read or watch on the internet at face value. In my opinion, these are good people who are soldiering on despite the risks to their good names and livelihoods. That is the dark side of horse fame.
My name is Anthony Aguilar. I am Roman Catholic, and to the best of my knowledge, Sam Outline did not want to work with KP. Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.